So a couple of days ago I uploaded my first thoughts and impressions of the Anycubic Photon Mono and the new wash and cure machine. Now I have a couple of prints done, and I want to address some of the issues and some of the good things I have learned in the last 5 days. So starting with the Anycubic wash and cure machine. I bought this one on the sale. This is the newer version. Like, it's easy to use, and it's a good machine. It's good to use. Some of the drawbacks I think is that the plate, when it rotates, it vibrates, so it shakes off the print, and the print sometimes falls off to one or the other side, which is not ideal. The next thing is this holder for the prints. I never use the arm that you can attach because I always want to keep my build plate leveled, don't want to make any adjustments. I'm printing a lot of smaller prints. I wish this one would fit inside this one, so you would have less storage to do. I fill it up with 2 liters of IPA, and then I have, before I dunk my prints in there, I dunk them in some methylated spirits, and I have a bigger jar here just to wash off the worst. And you can see it has gotten quite dirty already, which I'm happy. All of this resin is not inside my very expensive IPA, but 2 liters is absolutely enough to fill here. Overall, is it worth the $120 I spent on it, 120 euros? Yeah, I think so, yeah, of course. It's less handling the model, it cures it, it's just easy to have it all sorted out like this. You could build your own, but with shipping in Sweden and stuff like that, it would have been almost as expensive to build my own curing station, and I just didn't want to go through the hassle. Going over to the Anycubic Photon Mono, I'm really impressed. I really like this printer, and I have printed now 15-16 prints, only of which one has been a failure. And that was not even a complete failure, it just warped in some places because I had supported it too bad. The last prints I've done is this Panzer 2, which I downloaded from Thingiverse. And I have some of the parts have warped on me. It's because I didn't support it well enough, and also doing this when printing this one, I mean the quality is just, it's super cool. I'm used to the FDM printer, and I mean this is good to go, just some super glue and then I can paint it and use it on the tabletop. I'm printing exact the same now. I just supported the model a little bit better. I didn't like the noise the machine did. It was very quick going up and down the build plate, so I lowered the retraction by 1 centimeter per second, and I lowered both of the retractions, the speed, by 1 click, and I have gotten much better prints since then. The prints take this print used to be a 3-hour print, it's now a 4-hour print, like 3 hours something, and now it's a 4-hour. And I think it's worth it because you want the quality in your model. So the stock settings are not ideal because I think it strains too much on the FEP, and I don't like the sound of it. Going over to the resin, I used to use the eco resin, and now I switched over to using the regular resin. I like the eco resin, but I think that this resin actually smells less aggressive than the eco resin. I don't know why. It might just be me, and curing this model, it gets much more solid, and the other prints with the eco resin, still you can scratch the surface after now 5 days in the sun, and after curing for, I don't know, about like 10 minutes in this machine. And this one I cured 2 minutes on either side, and it's good to go. Any more thoughts? Do I still recommend this machine? Absolutely, I do. I don't have much to compare to, but I'm really happy, and soon I have printed enough to become even compared to buying my tanks from any of the manufacturers. This print actually comes, you can separate it. Here you see a part. This part didn't turn out great. I have since, in the new version, I have supported it better in just this place. Still, I don't find the Anycubic slicer to be really that good. But I'm getting used to it, and I really, I'm waiting for Shitubox to be able to export in PBMO, since I have found Shitubox's auto supports to be much better. They connect in the right places. Like if this part didn't connect an auto support on the outer corners, that's why this piece warped. And Shitubox, in my experience, just does that for you. Also, another update is I have put the machines in my washing room, since this washing room has a separate ventilation. I don't trust resin, I don't like resin, so therefore I wanted to have as little contact with it as possible, and be as precautionist as possible. It's worked really good. There is hardly any smell, and keeping the cover on the printer just isolates almost all the smell. You can't, walking past the room, you can't smell that there is anything printing inside, and entering the room you can smell some resin, but I don't know if it's the resin parts that are in my trash, or if it's some resin drops I dropped on the working area, but it's really little, and it's actually smells bad. I got some on my jeans last week, didn't notice it until I sat in my car driving, and the whole car smelled like resin, and I actually ended up turning home and to change clothes. I hadn't realized I gotten a little drop on myself. So that's the chemistry part, and I might be more precautionate than the average person. I don't know, but I rather be safe with this matter. And just to zoom in on the incredibly quick exposure times. And now it's done. That's what makes this machine so much quicker. And this is the result you get out of it. It's truly awesome. So, any questions, just leave a comment. Me or somebody else will answer it, hopefully. And I hope to make another video soon, once I have printed all my parts for my Prusa mini clone. That will be a separate video.